Falcons Talk, Season 3, Episode 21. The Fighting Falcons played their first series this past weekend. Thankfully, they won it, but not without a fight from Johnstown Tomahawks. In the first game, on Thursday, April 4th, the Port Huron Fighting Falcons shut out the Johnstown Tomahawks 3-0. There would be no scoring in the first two periods, but 8:02 into the third, Ryan Nick would get the scoring going, and that would be the game-winning goal off an assist from DeRosa. 10 minutes into the third, Maloney would get his goal, assisted from DuPaul and Plagman. And then 19:31 into the third, the scoring would finish with DeRosa getting an empty net goal, unassisted. They won in front of a crowd of 404 people, while Max Milasek played all 60 minutes, stopping 22 of the 22 shots he faced, getting the win. Max Milasek would get the first star of the game for this feat, while Nick would get the second and Maloney would get the third star. And although I think DeRosa should have got the second star. In their second game, Johnstown would shut out Port Huron 2-0, unfortunately, in front of a crowd of 470. The Johnstown Tomahawks would get their first goal 6:45 into the second off a goal from Berg, and their second goal would become 7:40 into the second off a goal from Smith-Moss. McCombs would miss the rest of the series because he was ejected from the game for a check from behind, making him the most penalized player of the whole NEHL. I have to say though, it isn't hard to get the most penalty minutes on the dirtiest team in the whole NEHL. And they would have had a lot more, especially since the refs were calling worth crap. Yeah, Johnstown, I'm talking to you. But Max Milasek would get the loss, playing 60 minutes, stopping 23 of the 25 shots he faced. In their decisive Game 3, the Falcons would come up with a win, 43 in overtime. Johnstown would get on the board first, 4:39 into the first, off a goal from Reynolds. Maloney would score for the Falcons 2:03 into the second to tie up the score off of assists from DuPaul. 14:29 into the second, Geiling would score for the Tomahawks to run up the score to 2-0. 8:45 into the Cottony would get the third and final goal for the Tomahawks. DeRosa would score on the power play at 12:59 into the third, assisted by Miller. In 19:25 into the third, DeAndrea would tie up the game at 3 off of an assist from DeRosa. 3:28 into the overtime period, Miller would win the game and the series for the Falcons with a 4-3 goal. Max Millsap played 62-53 of the game, stopping 26 of the 29 shots he faced. Miller would get the first star of the game, while DeAndrea would get the second star of the game. Johnstown and the 2011 fans were stunned that night. And with that win, with the series win, we are now playing the Sioux Eagles. Kalamazoo also swept the Springfield Junior Blues, and they will be playing the Jamestown Ironmen. And other scores this past weekend. On the 4th, Kalamazoo would beat the Springfield Junior Blues 7-1, while our boys beat the Johnstown Tomahawks 3-0. On the 5th, Johnstown Tomahawks would beat our boys 2-0, while the Corpus Christi Ice Rays would beat Amarillo Bulls 2-1. On the 6th, Kalamazoo would finish out their series, beating the Springfield Junior Blues 6-0. Amarillo Bulls beat the Corpus Christi Ice Rays 6-3. And the Texas Tornado beat the Topeka Roadrunners 2-1. And on the 7th, our boys beat the Johnstown Tomahawks 4-3 in overtime, while the Texas Tornado beat the Topeka Roadrunners 2-1. And here is the schedules as follows that still remain. In the Central Division, Austin Bruins versus Minot Minot Horses. They play in Austin April 12th and 13th. They play in Minot the 19th with a possible game on the 20th, with a possible game on the April 22nd in Austin. Also in the Central Division, Bismarck Bobcats versus the Brookings Blizzard. They play in Bismarck on the 12th and 13th of April, playing in Brookings the 19th on a possible game on the 20th, with a possible game on the 22nd in Bismarck. In the North Division, the Sioux Eagles versus our boys. They will play games 1 and 2 in Sault Ste. Marie, April 12th and 13th. They'll play in Port Huron April 18th with a possible game April 19th, and a possible game in Sault Ste. Marie on April 22nd. And the other North Division series, Jamestown Ironmen versus the Kalamazoo Junior K-Wings. They'll play in Jamestown April 12th and 13th. In Kalamazoo April 17th and a possible game on April 18th. And in Jamestown with a possible game on April 22nd. In the first South Division series, this series is already tied up for 1 game apiece. The third and fourth games will be April 9th and 10th in Corpus Christi, while a possible 5th game will be played in Amarillo April 13th. In the other South Division series, Texas Tornado versus Topeka Roadrunners. Texas leads the series 2-0. Games 3 and 4 will be played in Texas April 12th and 13th, with Game 4 possible if necessary, and Game 5 if necessary. It will be played in Topeka April 19th. In the West Division, Wenatchee Wild versus the Fresno Monsters. Games 1 and 2 will be played in April 12th and 13th at Wenatchee Wild. Games 3 and possible 4 will be played April 17th and 18th, and possible Game 5 in Wenatchee April 21st. Fairbanks Ice Dogs versus the Kenai River Brown Bears. Games 1 and 2 will be played in Fairbanks April 12th and 13th. Games 3 and possibly Game 4 will be played in Kenai River April 18th and 20th, while Game 5 is, if necessary, will be played in Fairbanks April 22nd. Also in CIFL news, the Port Huron Patriots gave the Dayton Sharks a scare. Unfortunately, it was only a scare. The Port Huron Patriots would finish out regulation with the Dayton Sharks 35 even going into overtime. Unfortunately, the Dayton Sharks would get a field goal to end the game in overtime, 38-35. So the Dayton Sharks are still undefeated, and the Port Huron Patriots go 3-4. The Port Huron Patriots' next game will be played at the Dow Events Center versus the Saginaw Sting, April 13th at 7:30 p.m. I really want to go. I don't know about you guys, but I do. But what can I say? Unfortunately, I most likely won't have a ride to Saginaw. But we really need a win against Saginaw. They are the defending CIFL champions, unfortunately, and they have one loss this season, which came to Dayton, I think. But they really need this win this coming up week, because we really can't fall far behind with the playoffs coming up soon. There's only 3 weeks left, and the top 6 teams will make it. The playoff breakdown for that is the top 2 teams will get a bye into the second round, while the 3rd place team will play the 6th place team, while the 4th place team will play the 5th place team. Those will happen between May 3rd and May 5th, while the second round will feature the 1st place team playing the winner of the 3rd versus 6th, while the 2nd place team will play the winner of the 4th versus 5th place game. And those games will happen between May 10th and May 12th. While round 3 of the championship game will be the winners of round 2 playing. That game will happen between May 17th and May 19th. The championship game will be played at whoever had the better record. That's all for this week.
I belong to Rocky Town. It's a place where dreams are found. We've fought so many battles here, and we're the ones that they will fear. The club resides within our town. We won't stop, no letting down. The cup is ours, we're all to drink. It's our town, let's rock this ring. Hey, Rocky Town. Not alone, just look around. Hey, Rocky Town. Let's hear the sound. The bogies drop, the people burnt. Flesh speeds, a brilliant daring. Red lights flash, horns are blaring. Rocky Town, our hunger's fed. By our men in white and red, they dazzle us before our eyes. look around.